What is coffee?
Coffee is everything.
One question she asked, I guess what she was trying to get across is, I think there's concern because you hear about the millennials, but a lot of millennials are living off of their parents. They're not living as part of the family. They're living off their parents in their parents' basement. They're wanting to be top dog. They're not contributing to the family income or the family provisions. And
give me, but I don't want to do anything to earn it.
Exactly. And they're not looking at their future. Now you guys, obviously RJ, you're the oldest, you're 25. A lot of 25-year-olds are off on their own. They're married, they have families. That doesn't mean all 25-year-olds do. And I know that there is some, at times, concern for you and your thought in that. But for the most part, you do a man's work. You guys could, we've talked about this, you have the ability to take over the family business. Something happened, God forbid, to your father and I, you guys could take over the family business and you would still be able to pay the bills. But you're also, we've trained you, we've schooled you, we've taught you to be independent thinkers. We've taught you to think outside of the box. We've taught you to think outside of society's norms, that you don't have to go punch a time clock.
But you do have to get married.
You don't have... I gotta get a picture of the hat. Do you feel that when you meet the right woman, when the Lord brings you the right woman, are you concerned... First off, let me ask you this question. Are you concerned about meeting a woman? Someday, are you concerned... Is marriage anything you want right now?
Right now?
Yes.
No.
Is it anything you think about right now?
Thought about it a little bit, but it's not something I'm pursuing.
What about, when it comes time, do you believe that God's going to open the doors for you?
If it's meant to be, God will make it happen.
What is one thing that your father and I have taught you that we've been doing since you've been little for your future wife?
Praying. God will bring godly, like-minded woman to us.
We've been praying for your future wife. We've been praying all these years that God is molding her and making her into the woman that you need, as well as molding you and making you into the man that she needs. Pull that lamp closer to you, RJ. Or just towards the center, you guys. Yeah, perfect. Thank you. What about you, Josiah? What is it? Marriage something you've thought about? I mean, is it something you think about regularly? I mean, obviously, I know you're the type of young man that has thought about it and contemplated it. But is it something you think about? Right? Are you ready for marriage?
Well, apparently one of us is not, me or the young lady. So it has been a reoccurring thought. How the Lord has worked things, it is not time yet.
Are you concerned with, I mean, and some people look at our lifestyle and say it's sheltered. Are you concerned that it's sheltered enough that you won't meet her? Or do you believe that God will open the doors, present the situation for you to meet her when it's time?
He will bring her when it is time.
So are you concerned or are you not concerned?
I am not concerned.
Have you ever been concerned?
I have been concerned.
Do you guys ever feel like you're missing out on anything not dating? I mean, we've taught you, I mean, let's be honest here. We've taught you both. And a lot of people in the world will not catch this. They won't grasp it. That dating is wrong. Because it puts a lot of pressure on you in a relationship that is meant solely for marriage. Courtship is the route to go. Do you ever feel like you've missed out on anything, or do you feel like you've been spared a lot of heartache?
Okay.
I feel like I've been spared the heartache that so many seem to go through. And by not dating, saving the relationship.
Saving it how?
By not dating, saving the specialness of it for a dedicated individual, I guess.
Because you've been taught marriage isn't something that's tried.
You're dating, and it just seems just trying out. It didn't work. I'll date somebody else. Yeah, I'll date somebody else.
I saw
Courtship seems more serious.
I wouldn't say I feel I have been spared the heartache, 'cause I know I have been spared the heartache. I heard in preaching one time that the first love should be the only love. And so as you said, in dating, just like you try it, and if it doesn't work out, then besides that, dating leads to things that are not condoned of God. Courtship has the barriers that protect the sacredness of it. And part of course it is waiting for that
That's
one.
my number.
Is it your number? So you have not lost the holiness of it before you're ready to give it to the one you want to spend the rest of your life with.
Do you feel, with you, RJ, as you grew up, we made sure that you had interaction. We went to church all the time. You guys had church, and you had Sunday schools, and you had, every event that the kids got together. You had, RJ, you had Boy Scouts. You had Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts, and obviously you ended up becoming an Eagle Scout. Josiah, we had you in Boy Scout, or Cub Scouts, and you just weren't into it. You were kind of an introvert from way back, naturally inherited, I'm sure, but it was just not something you were into. And, we did the homeschool groups for a while. We weren't ever really deeply in the homeschool groups, though we did do them partially. And obviously our biggest socialization came from church and Boy Scouts. Do you feel that you had socialization in your growing up years? And if so, what benefit or negative aspect did it have on your life? Was it something that totally shaped you, that gave you affirmation, made you feel a part of, or was it something that was like, it was still your own thing? You were achieving something, the goal before you, and once it was done, it was done. It wasn't, you are who you are based on the things that you know in the Word of God. You aren't who you are based on things that other people tell you are. I mean, is that accurate, or express to me what you're thinking about those things?
Your turn. What was first?
Boy Scouts. I got through Cub Scouts, through Boy Scouts, got the Eagle Scout, and then it was over. I'm glad I finished it and got that far, but I don't think it added to, not getting it. That wouldn't have destroyed me as a person. I don't think getting it has really made me succeed. It's what you and Daddy have taught us that has been the most important.
So how do you, I guess with that said, how do you define where your values come from? What makes you you? Where have you learned that from?
Reading the Bible.
Mama,
Praying. Learning from you and Daddy. I feel that's been my growth as a person.
Do you think you'd be any better of a person if you were in public school or if you were extremely socialized as an adult? I mean, do you feel that you can meet other adults and communicate with them on a mature level? Or do you have to be immature as many adults are and, use slang and, such millennial type behavior?
I'm kind of gonna go back a little bit.
Mama,
Socializing. I guess with some of the homeschooling groups in the church, kind of felt like we didn't really, I don't want to say click with anyone. Didn't really find people of like-mindedness in a lot of things.
Can you give some examples?
Homeschooling. You, Mama, not going to work.
Because of the way you've taught us, we felt like they were the ones missing out.
Give some more detail there.
Nope.
What do you mean by that?
We didn't, at least I didn't feel like I was missing anything or...
You're not homeschooled? What's wrong?
Yeah, yes, yeah. I didn't feel belittled because of that. I didn't feel like I was missing anything. They were the ones missing out on something and I couldn't understand. Why do you want to do that?
It's interesting. So we can safely say that homeschooling and not being overly socialized has not been harmful to you guys. Do you guys remember at all the reaction you guys would have to children that misbehaved?
Yeah.
In church or in Boy Scouts? Do you remember that specifically?
I remember when we'd start and we'd hear...
I was too afraid to start.
Enough of that.
All right, Josiah. What about you? I mean, do you feel that your lifestyle has hindered your growth, or do you feel that it's been a main instrument in your growth as an individual?
It has been a main instrument in aiding my growth.
Can you explain how that is?
Just a handful of years in Cub Scouts. And have just a few years of recollection in an organized church. And everybody was talking about the newest thing. There's always something about the newest and the greatest. And conforming, even in church, conforming to what the world said you had to be. And in the lifestyle we chose, I was able, through your teachings and through reading the Bible and prayer and the things that I was exposed to, I was able to just be who I was supposed to be, not what the world said I was supposed to be. I was able to like different things, and instead of feeling odd, think that it was odd that other people wouldn't like the not to mean that in a bad way, but that some things that the lifestyle that we live, we like, but a lot of the world finds it odd. And to me it seems odd. Why wouldn't you want it?
Is this something that you would want for your own family? Or would you want a modern lifestyle?
With the lifestyle we live out, I was able to see what manhood really is.
Mama, my...
And through my father, see how a man really acts.
Can you expound on that?
To see how he treats others. See how he treats his family. See what he's willing to do for them, what he's willing to put himself through for them, through the lifestyle we've chosen, seeing what manhood is.
What kind of things have you seen your father? You made a statement. You said the things that your father puts himself through for his family. What things that stick in your mind that he's done?
I have seen him work himself into the ground days in a row without end, and get back up the next day and do it again.
A man with a bad back,
Leg hurts,
arthritis,
tired, and gets up and does it again.
mid-50s, closing in on 60.
16-hour days and still 3 people's work. Be able to come in and play with these 2.
Let me ask you this. If you had a choice and you could choose the life your parents lived for you, would you want this life again?
Yes. I want this life again, without a doubt.
Are you concerned at all when the time comes for you to provide for a family? Are you concerned without a college education, without a public education? Are you concerned of your ability to provide for your family?
No.
Why is that?
And you and Daddy have been, I'll take the long way around on this one, been very encouraging and helpful in my endeavors, hobbies, and experiments. I know that if there's something that I need to do or want to do, I know that I can teach myself to do it, learn how to do it, whatever it needs to be, has to be. I want it to be.
Do you feel that regardless, that as long as you trust that God is your provider, He will provide? As long as you're working, as long as you're making an effort, do you believe that? That He is Jehovah Jireh?
He will provide. Whatever you do unto the Lord. So as long as God is first, no matter what's going on, He'll provide.
Be strong of good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee whatsoever thou goest. Different verse, but
You know, we
I
always
like it.
talk about Jehovah Jireh. I learned a new Jewish saying the other night, Jehovah Shema, which means God is there, which was something I meditated upon throughout that night because it was pretty profound. God is there. What about you, Josiah? You're an aspiring young man. You want to be a writer. You have plans in your life of writing the next best seller.
Yeah, no.
How do you feel? 20 years old, do you feel like you're missing out on something? Or, you know, where a lot of your peers are in college or even in their own apartments, providing quote for themselves. Do you feel inadequate? Does it make you feel inferior, or do you feel like, you know what, I'm part of a family and I'm aiding in that family? I'm important.
yes, because I'm doing something worthwhile and not just wasting my time. As Reggie said, don't just loaf around. We work. We try to pull our own weight, but Daddy always outpulls us.
I wouldn't let that know in too much effect, because how much older he is than you guys.
We try.
Whoops, the both of us together.
What'd you say?
Oops, he outdoes the both of us together.
I feel like I'm actually doing something of worth, and I don't need to be ashamed of doing it, because there is nothing to be ashamed about. Because I enjoy being with my family. I like being with my family. There is a responsibility there that we have been taught to embrace that this generation has been taught to fling aside. And that there's a good feeling about embracing it and doing what you need to do. So I just don't feel I've missed out on anything or inadequate.
I know that many would say, well, this is a pressured question, but I know that I have taught, and your father has taught you too well enough, to be honest. So actually, it's 2 questions. First off, and one of them is going to put you on the spot. And
You still go first.
Well, many of people your age have idolized and worshipped, and their heroes have been entertainers and singers and the like. Who has been your heroes or your hero?
My hero, about R.J. Wines, has been Daddy.
Why is that?
Oh, okay, come here. Come here.
All right.
Oh,
Love you, Daddy.
love you, RJ. He's my favorite.
Mama makes the cookies.
Daddy makes the coffee.
You have to like coffee for it to matter, don't you?
I make my own coffee in the morning.
Why has your father been your hero? I mean, you've been exposed. It's not like you've been totally not exposed. I mean, you've been exposed to people like, the Duke and Johnny Cash, and there are people, entertainers,
With the Duke. That's terrible. Sorry.
that hold this iconic level in people's minds. So why is it your father?
Because Daddy's been the one that, like Josiah said earlier, has showed us, and taught us by example how to be men. He's always been there for us to ask questions. He's been here to provide for us, to show us how to work, how to work well,
How to work hard.
how to
You
work
guys are a
hard.
hard-working crew.
We can go to him with the same question.
Which, by the way, you
Daddy,
get from him.
No, his answers make it shorter. He still gives them to us.
This is left for Lucian, right for David.
I've told you that since you were 5. It's been 20 years. Get it on.
You call him, you're 25, and you still call him daddy, and you're obviously not ashamed to hug and kiss him. Any...
Well, hugging.
With the beard, he doesn't want to.
Any apprehension in that, or is that just something that just is natural in you?
It's natural.
It's part of your relationship? All right, now you got
too,
this.
Mama.
I love you too, son.
I hug you too.
You do hug me too. You actually kiss me.
I do.
You do.
You don't have a beard.
Of course, sometimes. It's just to irritate Sydney.
That you hug me and kiss me.
Well, it's usually when you're asking him for a hug and a kiss. And
Yeah,
he's too
yeah.
busy. I say, I give Mama a hug and a kiss, and here he comes. Not the Mama, not the Mama.
Okay, Josiah, you get the same question. Who have you had a hero, and if so, who has it been besides Roy Rogers? Because we all know, and Daniel Boone, you idolized Roy Rogers and Daniel Boone in your youth, and that's okay. You can do that.
I would have to agree with RJ that Daddy has always been my hero.
Well, all right. There's another one.
No, I can't.
He's got 2
You
favorites.
make me cocoa in the morning.
He's my favorite.
New favorite.
And why is that? Same question. Why?
he has always been the one who's been there for us for one. He has shown us what it means, as RJ said, to be a man. He has always been daddy.
And you're okay with calling him daddy at 20 years of age?
Yeah.
On camera.
Yes, okay.
For the world to know, every YouTube viewer that wants to watch our channel, you're okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
And you're still mama.
Because you're man enough. You guys are men enough.